NLL Finals MVP Ian McKay and Dane Smith. Who's up first?
Sounds so bad.
Dane, it was like you started the season one way and you picked it right up in the second half with an absolutely dominating performance. It must be incredibly satisfying to finish a championship game the way the whole team did the second half today.
Yeah, that group is an amazing group over there at Saskatchewan. They're going to be very good for a lot of years. They're very young. I feel like we're knocking on the door to have a great game like we did. I told the offense in this group that we were going to put up 15 tonight, and we were able to do that. Obviously, started with the defense. Vino stood on his head, blocking shots. Everybody's just committing to the game plan, staying in the penalty box, and honestly, there's no better feeling.
You mentioned your goalie there. What's he mean to this group?
He means the world to this group. I know he's probably thinking about retiring, but I feel like he could just sit in that and we'll be fine. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can talk him out of that. Luckily enough, it's 6 or 7, and we can get some beers in him and hopefully talk him into one more year. But honestly, I'm forever thankful whatever his decision is, because I feel like we wouldn't be a championship team without him.
How does it feel to now win 3 in a row, and what does it say about this franchise to keep doing that again?
It's amazing. Obviously, it starts with Scott Loeffler and JT and Chugger for bringing this organization to where it is. People talk about the amount of talent we have, but we drafted, I would say, 75 to 80% of our roster, and then obviously picking up Vino was a huge pickup, but it's due to those guys for picking these draft picks, and then starting with struggling for a couple years, and then now obviously being where we're at. So it's amazing, and we want to keep going.
Games 1 and 2, knockdown, drag out, going to the last goal. What does it mean to this entire crew to put the definitive staple on this game 3?
You're on a roll.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, can you repeat that?
So game 1 and game 2, knockdown, drag out. What does it mean to blow this game wide open in the second half?
Keep drinking.
Put that staple on this season.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we played well all playoffs. Our defense specifically, and as an offensive group, we kind of went over just little details that we could get better at, and it's just really buying into the offense. Obviously, JT's done a great job of keeping us together, and everybody talks about how talented our offense is, but we have so many great players. It comes to buying into the system and buying into your role, and it's hard to do. Like you have so many talented players. Everybody wants the ball. Everybody can score goals. It's playing your role. And I said at the beginning of the game, I said we want 15 tonight because I believe in this group, and I really believe we were knocking on the door, and we were fortunate enough to put up 15 tonight. But it's due to our defense for holding the door and playing our game.
You guys had a target on your back the entire season, right? When you won 2 in a row, obviously everybody knows who the team to beat is. How gratifying, satisfying is it to be able to do this, right? It's not easy to do a three-peat. It's not easy to win 2, but to win 3 is even something different. How gratifying is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Obviously, the end goal every year is to win a championship, and to do it for the 3rd time in a row now is pretty unheard of. Obviously, there's only been one other team to do it, so to kind of cement ourselves in history with that and to be able to do that is an unbelievable feeling, and kind of like Dane touched on, kudos to Scott Loeffler, Chugger, JT, putting the right pieces in place and bringing guys in, making trades, drafting, whatever it may be, and being able to restock each year and put ourselves in a position to be here. And like you said, to have that target on our back and to step up game after game after game, it's this is the ultimate reward for sure.
John.
Ian, it was a 1-goal game at halftime. What kind of momentum did you guys take from that chase goal? I mean, it was another highlight, Sports Center kind of goal. And just, did you guys ride that momentum the rest of that 3rd quarter?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's such a talented player, and you watch him in practice and shoot around, and he's throwing these crazy shots, and you're like, oh man, like, do we really want to do that right now? But he finds a way to put it in every time, and it's impressive. And those are deflating for the other team, right? Like something like that goes in, a one-handed behind the back, or I think he did it again today, but up a little higher, and that can crush a team and kind of deflate them, especially going in the second half. And so to ride that momentum, and we went on a really good run there. I don't know if they scored in the second; they might have had one, but to be able, like, again, our defense is just unbelievable, and starting with Vino all the way out. So, but like Dane said, anyone on our offense can go off at any night, and it's those kind of goals that you want to try and, not just that goal, but anytime we're on a little run, you want to try and get as much momentum as possible.
I think it was also nice that we had a definitive wins, like you were asking Dane. Just because like there was some question marks of who the better team was, and just watching social media, it seemed like they thought they were better than us. So it was just nice to put our stamp on that. Yeah, we're still the best team in this league. We played them 4 times, including in the regular season, and we beat them 3, and they beat us 1 at their place. So I think if there's any question mark who the best team is, we proved it tonight.
John, what were you thinking when you watched your team in the second half play it almost maybe incredibly
I
perfect
didn't
30
know
minutes?
when I could breathe easy, because we had a 7-3 lead in the second quarter, I believe, and they fought their way back to make it 7-6 going in the halftime. And we tried to stay positive half, and like Dane said, just commit and invest into the little things offensively, and defense was stellar. Matt was great when he had to be. And the guys got rolling. Chase scores a nice one. They feed off of it, and it was just nice to win a game where we didn't have to rely on a 6-on-5 or getting penalties late in the game. It was just nice to breathe easy for the last 3-4 minutes of the game and just kill the clock.
It looked like Byrne was more aggressive in going to the net than he had been, and Cloutier's return seemed to do some good things for you.
I was happy for both of them. Josh has been fighting a little bit on the goal category, but he does a lot of other things out there for the team that help us out. So it was nice to see him put the ball in net. Kluch was a question mark. As of yesterday, he wasn't going to play. I had Scanlon in, and Scanlon had a great game in Saskatchewan, and it was tough to take him out. Chris has been with the team for a long time, and he showed that last night at practice, he showed that he had improved his injury quite a bit, drastically, and training staff said he was about 75-80%. So I just had a feeling Chris was going to bury today, and I was like, last minute I was like, okay, let's go with Chris, and he had a great game. He had three big goals for us tonight.
I just want to say on that note, like, I've never seen someone put so much work in that Kluch did this week to be able to be ready for this game. And he knew whatever happened, he did everything he could to prepare himself and be able to be in. And he was okay with whatever JT decided, whether it was Scanlon or Kluch. But I just want to get that out there. He worked his ass off to get back, and it showed tonight.
John, I'm sure there's a lot of things that go into sustained success, but is there maybe one thing that kind of comes above the rest, of like one attribute that a team needs to be able to
consistency comes to my mind. It's easy for the guys to be complacent. It's you win. We've been to the championship 5 years in a row now. We had it handed to us the first 2 years. I think that was definitely a learning lesson for the next 3. I'm impressed how our team, the players on the team, continuously, put their bodies on the line after having so much success. It would be easy for them to say, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy. And the guys, let me watch their defense they're blocking shots, they're getting in lanes, they're cross-checking, they're fighting for loose balls.